Well, I was asked to do a video on how to reseal this cowl area back up here, underneath where the plastic and stuff is. Now there's a couple ways you can do this. I'm gonna do it the easy way. So it's cold right now, so obviously I want to let this kind of get back to like room temperature, you know, so it's a little bit warm. I pulled that windshield wiper up and kind of wedged it up under the hood a little bit where there's not like a ton of pressure on it. And this here, I'm actually gonna have to physically hold this up. I took the wiper off of it, but I want to clean around this area right here all the way across. I want to make sure I get that real clean where that rubber seal is. So you're gonna have to get like a plastic putty knife and stuff, just clean under that. Or, you know, for the sake of this, you could pull this trim off. Now you want to go through all that? I don't want to go through all that, even though I know how to do it and it's easy. It's not necessary. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go across this. I'm going to clean all this area up real good right here, and then let's seal it up. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to clean up the outside, and I'm not going to go underneath, because if I ever have to take this off, I don't want this to bind up to the bottom side of that seal. I just thought about that. So I'm only going to go on the top side only, but clean everything from about, I would say, a ½ inch out past the rubber seal. I'm going to clean it all, but at least about a ½ inch out all the way onto the rubber seal. So if I ever have to take this back off, I could take a razor blade and I could run it along that seam, and I could I could separate the actual plastic from the window. So let's clean this up real quick. Now a good way to check for a leak to see if that seal is actually sealing properly is get yourself some soapy water. So when you spray it, you see where the soap is disappearing at. You see I got this all the way across. I got a spot right there where that seam is. Right here. Soap is running down in there, so I want to stop that from happening. And then it was a little bit over there. I noticed that it wasn't sealed quite right. So you can watch and see where that soap is disappearing along that seam. So I'm going to soap and water wash this all the way across, clean it all up. Okay, I got the window nice and cleaned all the way across. If you got microfiber cloths, that would be much better to use than some crap towel like this that I'm using, because this is all I got right now. Now I'm going to go back with a shot of Windex and just make sure I get any soap that I have or water that I have left over. Just this is some, I have some real high strength ammonia Windex, but just regular Windex in general will work. I'm going to run that across this. I'm going to clean it real good, and then I'm going to take some compressed air and just real lightly blow down. You don't have to do this. You can let it sit in the sun and dry, and that would suffice just fine. But I have the air on hand, so I'm going to go ahead and use it just to make sure I get all the water out from underneath that as possible. Just push it down underneath that seal if I can. Okay, everything's dry, nice and clean. All the way across. Now let's get our silicone out. Ready? Okay guys, so I want you to start. I know it's gonna be kind of difficult to do it, but I got a caulk gun. And literally I'm just gonna start. Be careful. Okay, I got the silicone all the way across. You see it's kind of botchy. That's okay though. I don't care about that. I can take a wet rag and I can start trimming it back and wiping until I get it all nice and cleaned up and lined up. And then after it dries, you can come back with a razor blade and you can trim it back and edge it all down. You just want to make sure that you leave the 2 gaps on the side, which I did not do very good right here. I'm going to have to clean it up. I'll clean that up there, and I'll get this nice and edged in with a wet rag. I'll just go ahead and keep wiping it back. But I want this nice little overlap without going underneath the seal all the way across. And now I'll edge it up as much as I can tonight, and then after it dries, I'll take a razor blade and I'll just clean it all up real nice and straight. Well, it ain't the prettiest, but it'll work. And then I'll come back with a razor blade and trim up any little furry edges that are sticking off the silicone here in a couple days once everything dries. And I got it all the way across right on that seal. So there it is. That's basically how you do it. You can run your finger over to dress up some of the bumpy edges while it's still wet. You ain't gonna hurt nothing by doing that. You just have to wipe your finger off. But that's how to seal up that cowl area that I've been talking about. I'm gonna clean up some of the lumpy stuff real quick, and then that'll be the end of the video. Okay, I just kind of kept going over it, kind of moving it where I wanted, getting all the lumps out of it all the way across. And then I just cleaned my finger off when I was, you know, each time I'd pull something off, and then I'd just edge it back up. And a few days after it dries, when I come back and I see things I don't like, I'll just take a razor blade and trim it down. You know, just get all the little imperfections off of it. But now my weather strip is sealed all the way across. And that's it. That's all there is to it. But I left my channels on the side right here open because the water needs to be able to drain down into those channels into the box to get out. If you plug those up, it may overwhelm the center area over here, and then who knows. So I just left the side channels open and only sealed the middle. For now, be blessed, guys.